Today out in the wood yard, the big saw is gonna bark. We're gonna make her scream and cut some big wood. Here we go. So this is the new 3120 XP HUSQVARNA 120cc chainsaw. This is the new one I bought, and I got a deal on it that I couldn't pass up, and we're gonna be using it today to cut this big stuff. There's some big logs here. Here's the old one, 3120, and this has got the small bar on it. This has got the 42-inch bar on it, and the old saw. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this saw to do some cuts, and then we're gonna use this saw to do some cuts, and I'm gonna try them out and see which one I think runs better, looks better, feels better. I got a feeling they're both gonna cut just fine because they're big. So my plan is that I'm gonna cut it down so that it's a little bit less than 60 inches because I have a 60-inch bar on there, but I measured this log here, and this log is like 66 inches, I think, so I can't even get all the way through it because I want to rip it, and I'm gonna quarter is basically what I'm gonna do. And then we're gonna use the other saw to kind of cut it down to size, and we got a couple other ones here. There's some other big wood here, some other big chunks. So we're gonna kind of do some whittling on these big pieces today. There's a tree that Bert and Adam took down in the front yard, and I'm gonna just cut this down a little bit and get the new saw a little exercise. So here's the base that got cut off. This is the root flare on the bottom, the stump that they cut off. I'm gonna try to measure it here. It's kind of hard because I go in hand. Here it is. It's a 46 inches across, and that's the top of this. So the flare is even more than that. So pretty good sized tree, not the biggest, but it's a good one to play with for cutting with this the big saw today. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna cut it down to size so I can get the bar all the way through for ripping it. So I think we're gonna measure it here, and it is, we're right here at 64 inches. I thought it was 66, but 64 inches. And this bar is a 60-inch bar. So I'm gonna cut this off at like 58. So we'll cut a big cookie off of this puppy to start with. That's the first thing we're gonna do. And then we're gonna rip it into quarters, and we're gonna do the same with that one. We'll cut that one down over there and rip it down, and we'll see. Maybe I'll cut a couple other ones. Just depends on how much energy I have, because these are big saws and they're not that much fun to cut with. They look fun, but they're a lot of work. So we're gonna give it a try. There it is, carnage. Cut the big block into quarters, and now we can cut them up with small saws and block them up for firewood. Look at the amount of noodles here. Lots of noodles. Both sides, it's all over the place. So there it is, it's cut into quarters. The big saw did its job. I did have to clean it out a little bit. Tried not to hit the ground on the other side. I tried to watch it back and forth. And now we're going to start up the old one, the old 3120. And I think I'm going to cut that chunk right there up. A little shorter. We'll see how that one handles it. All right, so here's the other chunk. So I just measured, it's 32 inches. The boys cut it to 32. So I'm going to cut it into quarters, and then we'll be able to cut those in half and get some firewood out of it here. So this one is, let's see, let's just measure the, let's measure this one here. Let's see what we got. It is about 37, 38 inches across, so good sized. Not a monster, but pretty big. And we're going to get it down to manageable size pieces here. So I know some of you are saying, oh, you could just use a 24 or 28 or whatever. Yeah, but what fun is that? We're going to use the big one. We're going to use the 42 inch on the old 3120, and we're going to get this baby cut down to size like we did the other one. they are, the big boys. They did their work, did some ripping. The big saws are just a lot of work. I can see where guys that are doing specialty work, tree service guys where they got a monster tree they need to cut down, they can't get across, where it makes sense. Or if you're a guy that's working on the West Coast and you're cutting monster trees, it makes sense. But they're just a lot of work. It's just a big toy for me. But it was a lot of fun. And I can tell you this, that big bar is ridiculous. The 42-inch bar, the smaller one on the old saw, way easier to handle. It's not nearly as bad. You can actually swing it. I did make a cut on a log over there that was in the way, and I was able to cut it, on the ground and not hit the ground, which was hard to do. And that's one of the things I was thinking about. Some of the West Coast guys that cut with big long bars, I don't get it. I've cut with long bars before, they're just too long. I prefer a 24-inch bar. Once you get past that, you're gonna hit the ground a lot. And if you like to sharpen your chains, if you're like, that's your thing, to sharpen chains all the time, run a big bar, like a 32 or 36-inch, whatever. You're gonna hit the ground a lot. For most of what we cut, is not necessary. But it is a lot of fun, I gotta say. So the big thing and the difference between the two saws, I'd have to say, is that the old saw runs excellent, but the braking system's a little different. It has more of a mechanical click. It locks into place when you lock the brake on it, the bar brake or the chain brake. And the newer one has a different spring system. And it took me a while to get used to it. When you engage it, it doesn't like snap into place. It just kind of sets and that's it. So on the new one, and when you go to put the brake on, it snaps that way just fine. When you come back this way, it's got a little bit of a click. It's not much of a click. So there it's got the click and there. Maybe it's just because it's newer. I mean, we'll look at the other one and maybe it's the same exact setup. It's just that this one's been used so much. Yeah, it looks the same. But this one here, when you put it forward so you can cut, I don't know, it just seems to click better. I don't know what it is. Not better, just it's different, I'd have to say. So that one is, the spring is probably stronger. That's probably what it is, but yeah, it snaps good there and it snaps good there. I guess when I'm running it, I hear that snap, but you really don't, when you go back, I don't really hear that one. So maybe that's what it is. And this one maybe just clicks a little bit more. So there's disengaged. I guess it's the same. I don't know, I just noticed it more, I guess. Okay, it's the same, I was wrong. But a lot of fun. Awesome cutting with these big boys. It's just different than what you normally get to do, I think. So if you ever get a chance to run one of these bad boys, give it a try. So there you go, you got to see the big boys run today. It was a lot of fun. Whenever I see people that I let run this thing, they can't help but smile. When I was at the Hoosier Hysteria, the guys that ran it, they were just smiling the whole time because it's so stupidly big and so much different than anything anybody else has run. And I know for most people this isn't the thing that they need, but it's more of a want. And once in a while you got to have something that's just fun, and this was it. And I will be having this saw when I go to the Firewood Frenzy. I'll be in Eau Claire in June 22nd, I think it is. I will be there at Wolf Ridge Manufacturing, and then I probably will be taking these saws. I think there's a good chance I'll be taking them to the Paul Bunyan show this fall. If we can figure out a way to haul all of our stuff, we might have them there too, so you guys can fondle them. That's it for today, folks. Poke the buttons. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. with another video for you. Right now, go watch all the other videos on my channel. There's 1,400 waiting for you. You got nothing better to do. Go watch them. Good night, Irene.